Welcome to hopefully a new kind of opinion show. Now, know that this is not a rant or an Alicorn Talks. This is going to be something kind of different. It's a yet to be titled wrestling show. I'll probably come up with a second one. Second title for this one. But for those that don't know, I've been a wrestling fan for over 30 years. I don't consider myself a wrestling insider, but I do consider myself a wrestling savant. I know a lot of stuff. And here's what I know going down the road to WrestleMania 34. Predictable isn't even the word that I would use. More like unhypeable would be the word that I would use. This, so far, going into WWE Fastlane tomorrow, by the way. Imagine that. SmackDown plots have 2 weeks to go before they have to settle on something. What a giant disaster that is. But the entire road to WrestleMania has been paved for a year. It's been paved around one match. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. The fourth, or should I say fifth attempt of getting Roman Reigns over. And this is even in the shadow of a reported took steroids thing that a former steroid dealer has his name plus the name of 15 others on the docket to get busted for the roids. Many wrestling fans hope that he ultimately does so that the WWE has to quickly correct course to more of the indie darlings or more of the fan-loved guys like Braun Strowman. I do like Braun Strowman and a lot of the indie guys, but I wouldn't call myself an indie purveyor of wrestling. I am a purely WWE fan, which leads me to this. There are going to be 3 reasons why WrestleMania 34 is going to be the most boring, mundane waste of time in the history of the event. I'm as old as it, by the way. 34. Even though technically the first event was in 85, but nobody recognized that. I guess the idea was born in 84, but the first ideal event in Madison Square couldn't be greenlit until the year after, so therefore that. But never before in the history of watching the event have I seen the hype be so less for it. Most WrestleManias come in like a holiday. People can't wait to see them. People can't wait to talk about them or see how they come out. But for this WrestleMania especially, the vibe or the magic, pony channel here, doesn't exist, and no amount of friendship can save this one. There's a lot of hate or bitterness going into this WrestleMania, and it pretty much stems from the Roman Reigns 5th annual coronation ceremony that's about to take place here. I mean, Roman Reigns, we've gone through this so many times ad nauseum. But Roman Reigns is not the problem. As I've noted before in an earlier video, the Performance Center is the problem. NXT is the problem. Why are people not so excited about WrestleMania 34? Could it be that we know the night before the NXTers will go into a nearby basketball arena, the home of the Pelicans, and tear the house down, as they typically do. There isn't ever been one bad NXT takeover. Not now, not then, not, well, I won't say forever, but it's looking that way at this rate. The takeovers are so efficient, I don't even watch the main TV product, and I pay for the network to be able to watch the weekly NXTs, but I don't, because I know the takeovers will deliver the promo goods, the nice packages, but most of all, the good matches. Sure, the predictable endings are one of the reasons why people aren't looking forward to 34, but it's also the fact that the build-up to these predictable matches have been some of the worst pre-planning, multi-shuffling, undecisive bookings in the history of the event. If you watch a video from WrestleTalk earlier in the week, by the way, I support WrestleTalk, they would have told you that they have concerns about their Universal Championship coordination, and that most of the booking, now nearly close to under 30 days away from the event, are massively in flux. Usually, during WrestleMania time, quotes from my observancy, bookings were not in flux. Ideas were set in stone. Main events and their endings could be seen a mile away and be executed a mile away. But unlike WrestleManias in the past, where the internet has grown more and more of a tight spoiler niche, this WrestleMania is full into the social media black hole that is the internet wrestling community. And for the most part, the internet wrestling community loves to unsmartly speculate about everything. Heck, for weeks we bought into the fact that Rey Mysterio could be facing John Cena. Come on, that's not realistic. And neither is the idea that AJ and Shinsuke will go clearly one-on-one. You see, most internet wrestling fans, WrestleMania is a casual event on to be darned. This is why they're able to drag out the legends from times gone by every year, the day before, to celebrate them, and in more recent years, use them to actually book the event. It's because it's very hard to get the non-hardcore, non-super dedicated person like I to want to pay $9.99, or even in some cases, in terms of ordering it standard pay-per-view style, close to $70 to watch WrestleMania. There's got to be a reason to show up, right? Well, for most of the WWE fans, this is natural, but they want to see their guys. AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, newsflash, are not their guys. Most people haven't even watched the first match that is so heralded by the internet community in New Japan. If you have, you're one of the lucky ones and one of the more diverse ones, and I give you credit. But for most of the WWE fandom, here's the truth about us. We live in an isolated, WWE is the only thing in the world when it comes to professional wrestling bubble. So, living vicariously through that knowledge, a match between Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles is only made interesting because Well, Michael Cole or Corey Graves makes it sound interesting. Not that we have any vested interest in it. So don't be surprised and know this is not a prediction, but more or less something you can go back to this video if I'm correct and point out the consequence. Don't be surprised if John Cena wins the six-pack challenge tomorrow at Fastlane. You might be saying, that's a last-second decision. Yes, it is. But think, John Cena, even at age 39, has more watch the events he's in appeal than anybody, whether it be Raw, SmackDown roster, on the main roster. He's still at full 16 years in, at age 39, while still doing things like hosting the Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Awards, doing Oscar-nominated movies, like Ferdinand, and still being able to wrestle on a semi-basis. And he still gets more pops, more reaction, and more people caring about his matches than any of the new guys. Once again, it just highlights how poorly the Performance Center and NXT sadly prepares these guys. And it's once again shown up here. So if Cena gets plunked into this championship indie dream match and ruins your proverbial wet dreams, don't say I didn't warn you. And now you know why. Because John Cena brings the commercial pull when AJ Styles, the guy that's not even from the WWE, and sadly, ultra talented guy like Shinsuke Nakamura, but also a guy that can't speak a lick of clean sentenced English, which, by the way, when he ultimately does win the WWE Championship, expect that reign to be short, primarily because of that reason. That's why a lot of international champions have not lasted long in the tooth with the greatest championship in all of sports. It's mainly because language and culture barrier is much harder than beating your heel-tastic foe. Add that with tag team matches that will probably be the show stealers of the night and the most interesting, and The Miz ultimately, before breaking a record, losing the Intercontinental title to insert blank, and of course the coordination ceremony and the obligatory Shane match, and you make up your WrestleMania card, and of course the Andre the Giant Battle Royal that, historically, has led nowhere. I mean, Mojo Rawley won it last year, and he's done absolutely nothing with it. So why care about the Battle Royal? All in all, WrestleMania 34 is like a bland soda. It lacks the fizz. It lacks the control. It's like out in the air and out in the sun somewhere. We care about it because of the legacy of WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is WrestleMania. But we don't care about this one in particular. And quite frankly, wrestling community, we're forcing ourselves to care this year. More so than what we were doing at 32, and more so than what we were doing last year when it came to Florida. We're forcing ourselves to care about this one. Not just so we can honor its legacy again, but we can simply get it over with. And that's the saddest part about WrestleMania 34. The magic doesn't exist here. We just want it over. And that's the worst crime of all. Not the Roman Reigns coordination, not the bad booking, and not even the lead-in. It's the fact that we just want it over. An event we used to celebrate as a holiday has now become apathetic. And it should never, ever, no matter if you love wrestling or you love anything else, become empathetic. So, tell me down in the comment section below if you believe in any of these things that I've said and how are your feelings going down the road to WrestleMania. And if you like this enough, there'll be more wrestling themed videos in between all the pony stuff when I feel there's something to say. Even though I sounded extremely negative, I say these things because I truly do love the WWE and want the best for it. And I hope, as I find out in the comments, a lot of you do too. I'm Nirvana Sparkle. Find peace in your own Nirvana. Thanks for watching.